지금 다운로드 받으세요.
Welcome back, everybody. We are jumping into right away here. Game number 3 between KT Rolster and MVP, and so far it has been a very KT-sided best of 5.
Yes, unlike that last series between KT and SKT, both these wins from KT have looked like they've been very convincing, to say that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there were a few shaky moments for TY in that last game, but Ryung just couldn't capitalize on his earlier stim, his earlier combat shield. His Banshee just didn't do much for him. Going into this third series, GuMiho has beaten Zest before. It has happened multiple times, I believe. The one most famous time was when the booth fell on his head and he still won the game. But Zest is, like you said, he's in his Super Saiyan form right now. Like Super Saiyan 3, or I don't know how Dragon Ball Z works. But anyways, he's looking the best he has ever looked. He seems to be the best player in the world right now. So if GuMiho can beat the world's best, we go to Game 4. Maybe Blaze then beats Lucero, who's also looking in poor form right now. We go to an ace match. But that's like a dream. It's going to be like a miracle. Like it's an abstract concept that could even happen.
Yeah, it's a very tough climb for MVP Chikamaru to take out this series. Even if they go to the ace match, KT have so many options for them to come out in that ace match. So even if they get there, it's going to be very hard. Yeah,
will be pretty tough. KT doesn't have as many options as they would normally have for the ace match because they only brought 4 players. That's how confident they were. Like, sorry, Lucero, you probably won't even play. They're probably not counting on it. You know, plug your keyboard in, check your hotkeys, and then just take a seat and watch us wreck these guys 3-0. It was lucky for Lucero because he actually had to do a lot of prep for his Thursday Star League group, which he also failed to qualify for.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, he was the least likely to qualify from that group, in my opinion.
Sure, I mean, you could definitely make that argument, but I think he looked especially weak in the group as well. Like, he didn't look as strong as Lucero, who was the only Zerg left in Code S after the season finished. He didn't even have to go through Code A, so he's in Code S still. But in Star League, not the most convincing performance there.
Yeah, for sure. As we're just both players are in lobby. I'm not really sure what we're waiting on specifically.
Zest
is known for being a very hotkey, annoying person.
Yeah, he also has to sometimes have the light set up exactly correct. That's one of his big things. He's kind of
pet
paranoid
peeves, I guess.
Yeah, pet peeves. Just want to point out, he's 6-0, and actually that one game GuMiho won was the only game he ever beat him. I thought there was more, but nope, that's it. He's only beaten him once. The booth collapsed on him, and he created a miracle. He was able to defeat Zest. And I do not think that is ever going to happen again.
Yeah, we obviously see here with the prediction, 7-0 in favor of Zest. Everyone hopping on the Zest bandwagon.
Well, guys, let's see if GuMiho can do the impossible and defeat the best player in the world. It's all up to him. If he fails here, his team goes out 0-3 against KT Rolster, and KT will take first place. Let's jump into game number 3. Down here in the blue, in the bottom of the map, it is GuMiho, the nine-tailed fox, the Towel Terran.
And spawning here at the top right as the red Protoss for KT Rolster. It is the best guy. Zest is best.
Best is Zest. He's the Kingslayer.
What is his actual nickname here in Korea?
That's a good question. When I think about it, they called him Kingslayer for a while. Actually, it's funny because Brandon and I kind of came up with that nickname back then, and like Koreans were also calling him that. I don't think anyone calls him that anymore. So it was almost like a Game of Thrones reference.
Jupago, as in like AlphaGo. I think that's a nickname he's also had in the past.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay.
But the slogan is always, ever since these 2 fangirls held up signs that said Zest is best. And then I said on the cast I want them to hold up best is Zest, and then the next break they did. That was so sick. I was like, all right, that's it.
It's really funny because there used to be a pro gamer. His ID was best, and he was also known for being a very muscly player. Like he had muscles and stuff, and he also played Protoss. So it's quite funny to think about that.
Yep.
In the context of
They played
Zest.
a little bit of StarCraft too as well in the beginning of things. I remember his ceremony with the Colossi swipes. You remember this? Where he goes like this on the camera? I know you guys can't see what I'm talking about, but anyway, go look up Best Colossus Ceremony or something like that. You'll probably find it on the internet. look at GuMiho's face right now. You can see he's got the furrowed brow. He's focused so hard. He knows his entire team's chances rest upon this. A loss for him here would put his team 0-3. It would put them at 1-3 and -5, which would, keep them. It would drop them below CJ Antis, but they would still not go as far as SKT because SKT doesn't have any wins and they're 0-3. But you want to avoid this. MVP still has a chance to get into this playoff for round 3, whereas CJ Antis and SKT are already eliminated. But a loss here would also eliminate them from such chances, especially an 0-3 loss. So just keep all these things in mind. This team got a new sponsor this season. They're trying to hold on to their... the MVP is a household name in Starcraft 2. Now one of the best teams in Heroes of the Storm.
Dota 2, yeah. I mean, MVP is one of those teams where any game they pick up, they're going to do relatively well. So there's a lot of big expectations for MVP.
All right, Cyclone. Here we go. This is what I wanted to see. Not the best map for it. You can definitely put on a lot of pressure with the Cyclone here. And it's not going to be the fastest Cyclone. It's not going to be the same build that we saw from Bravo or Forte, but this timing for the Cyclone is normally used defensively, but I think he's going to be aggressive with it with his own variation. He's had some time to figure this out, come up with a plan. Yeah,
we see Zest going for both the robotics and that Twilight Council, and that's very vanilla Zest. You always see Zest doing that exact build. Oh, he's going to lock on. No, he's not going to lock. Oh, no, he misses it.
He totally missed it. He can't get it anymore. And if he chases it now, it's just going to recall in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Could have gotten it for sure.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate there for GuMiho. And GuMiho needs to play the perfect game here if he has to have a chance of taking out Zest. But that is just one thing that he just didn't come in and it wasn't working for him.
No, this Reaper might escape. I'm not even sure. Okay, well, if he's going to commit to the scout, he won't. We'll see the Twilight Council, though.
Yeah. But this is very typical here from Zest, this build order that he's doing, getting that quick Twilight Council and robotics, as I mentioned.
He's going to pressure with Blink, he's going to take a third base, and he's going to do a follow-up attack.
It's a very flexible build that he's doing right now because you can transition to pretty much anything that a Protoss can do against a Terran.
Yep. And, I mean, most likely it's just going to be that pressure into the third base, or pressure while he's taking a third base. Cyclone coming over here at the right time to try to force a cancel on this.
Oh, he might actually... Oh, actually, no. I thought he was trying to do a depth there, but the Stalkers do come in time for Zest to make that Cyclone go away. And we see the Raven here. I actually like this Raven from GuMiho. It's going to be able to detect any observers that try and peek into his base. And
so you can try to kill this with a Cyclone?
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice play here from GuMiho.
Interesting Raven play. I mean, it definitely kills the observer, but it's a lot of gas to spend for that. He had it rallied towards that, so I think that was definitely intentional, as you said, to just go and kill the observer. That cost him a lot of gas. His stim is on the way now, but so is a warp prism and all these stalkers. He's going to pressure. He's going to make sure GuMiho can't take a third. He's going to try to trade efficiently and then do either a follow-up push or tech up to deal with whatever GuMiho is doing. Blink is done in 5 seconds. Warp prism is on the way. This observer, or rather this Marine, which is acting as an observer, will scout this, but let's be real, he probably already knew. There's the 2 forges going up at home. We've seen this from Zest a million times.
Yeah, 1,000,001 counting from this game is GuMiho is actually playing quite defensive here. He hasn't even thought of taking third yet. He's got this siege tank to deal with these Blink Stalkers.
That's the power of this build, because you don't know how much the Protoss is committing to it. You have to assume that he is going to all-in and kill you, because if you don't and he is, then you die. If you don't have vision, if there's no way to find out, you just have to play so passively.
Well, you can see how often GuMiho is sending out a scouting unit to see the army of Zest, and just the power of how good Zest is manipulating his opponent, in this case GuMiho.
Here comes a drop in the back, and this is, again, not an all-in. This is just pressure to get a tempo advantage and to keep GuMiho on 2 bases. Auto turrets being used as the defense here. There's a nice pickup, taking only a little bit of shield damage. This third CC is started, but look at the difference in mining. Already you see Zest fully saturated third right now. Even deters this Liberator because he saw it coming. Got 5 kills, but the big story really is that it escapes, I guess.
Oh, actually the Cyclone locks onto the Warp Prism, and is it going to die? No. The crowd. Oh, actually, he's going to chase it. Oh, my God.
He will get it. Nice move, GuMiho. Sick move. Okay, that's how you do it.
That is the deserved applause from the crowd.
That is a way to shut down pressure on the highest level. This means he's no longer afraid of anything because he knows there's no Warp Prism over here. There's no Warp Prism to backstab him, and he can add E-base, he can take his third base comfortably, and he has nothing else to worry about. He's still playing from somewhat of a worker deficit, which is always scary as a Terran, but he's in good shape when it comes to harass. And ooh, this is a big stem with non-combat shielded Marines.
2 stims on that? No, I don't think that was worth it to get that group of Stalkers away.
They're not even done yet. They're like going to turn around and keep pressuring this because his Marines still have combat shields, so you can actually pick them off so much faster.
And Zest is actually taking a foot behind. This is very ballsy from him.
He has 1-1. The E-base haven't even been started to be used. His Liberator is scouted on the minimap by the observer. Like, he's already got pylons in place, or the Mothership Core is as well. And the transformation time here too long. Going to lose that Liberator without even a single kill.
That's quite unfortunate there from GuMiho losing that Liberator, but he does have map presence again with this group of Marines and Medivacs, and oh, this is very cute. He's got pylons at the bottom right base just surrounding that Liberator.
Yeah, going to spot any move outs, force unloads. If you fly over a pylon, you always have to unload and kill it because you have to assume the Protoss saw you. And that's kind of one of those awkward things about this matchup. All right, 1-1 is done. GuMiho's 1-1 very late. His army very small.
The Liberators
will stop the attack. But this is just pressure from Zest. This is not an all-in. This is not a game-ending attack necessarily.
He's
going to go for it, though.
Yeah. Might not be enough units here from GuMiho to defend. Let's see how it goes.
Well, the Liberators all went down. A lot of these Marines were not in position. The 1-1 upgrades here playing a big role. The sentries at the back even starting to fight. And I think GuMiho won't be able to defend the next warp in, but
he has this drop just sitting here at the bottom right because he's so busy just dealing it. GG.
Wow, I did not expect that game to end there, but I guess it just does. Zest is best, and KT Rolster will take the 3-0.
Yeah, very quick night here of the SPL tonight.
That was just
maybe like 2 hours or so that we've just spent.
I think the KT versus Jin Air round 3 finals is going to be the one that is super hype. That is going to be an even better finals than what we saw from Jin Air versus KT. KT is looking on fire right now. They are relying on these 3 players quite heavily, but in a game where you only need 3 players to win, so what?
Yeah.
I mean,
the formula is there for him to do very well coming into the rest of Pro League when we wrap up and then coming to the grand postseason.
So, very one-sided series today. The first one, unexpectedly so, but the second one, super easy peasy for KT.
Who do you think the MVP will be?
You know, that's a good question.
Like, I want to say Stats because he won so convincingly, but I'm not really sure.
I think they'll probably pick Zest because he's just on fire right now and he's going to be the best person to interview. Not sure. TY played the toughest game. And I think that, like, it could be him because he played the TBT. That was like the one game I thought they might lose, maybe, even though I didn't even vote against him. That was the best chance that MVP had. So it could be TY. There's arguments for all 3 players realistically here, except Lucira as the 4th player. Didn't even get to play. He's like, oh, I prepped for this for several days, and you guys just crushed everybody. And there you have it. KT Rolster will secure first place because they have played an extra game over Jenner. That will likely change next week if Jenner gets another win.
And a big surprise, SK Telecom T1 sitting at the bottom. 0-3 this round.
And with this Zest win, he will actually tie Hero in first place with 14 wins. The only other changes being that TY also moves up a spot and Deer will move down a spot. So there you have it. That is your winners ranking here. And, I mean, pretty basic second series. There's not too much to